We're in the heart of California's Central Valley. University of the Pacific is our backdrop for the season finale of WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder.
And I'm Sammy O'Brien. And coming up, a touching story about how baseball brought a father and son even closer together.
Plus, Gonzaga still reigns supreme on the water. We look back at how the Zags won their 5th straight conference rowing title.
And a Pacific tennis player is helping those in need here in her hometown of Stockton. But first, summer is here. As the sports season wraps up, the WCC Baseball Tournament provided plenty of drama. Let's recap the action from Banner Island Ballpark here in Stockton. Well, for the first time in 19 years, LMU is headed to an NCAA regional with an automatic berth, clinching the 2019 West Coast Conference Championship. The game remained tied headed to the 10th, and with one out and runners on the corners, Cooper Ewell stepped to the plate for the Lions to secure the 4-2 final.
We kind of just tried to put a good swing on a ball in the zone and got lucky, grooved the 2-0 fastball down the middle, just found a gap. We've been working for it all year, especially being picked 7th. Definitely something we strived out to do and kind of prove everybody wrong.
This was the first WCC title for the Lions since 2000, and senior Cody Paiva earned most outstanding player honors.
We faced so much adversity through the end of the year and all that, and just we stuck as a team, just tried to have fun and to come out on top. I mean, 3rd time here, first time finally getting a dog pile. It's the most surreal moment I've ever been a part of.
It's just super exciting, getting the monkey off our back, so to speak. So it's, it starts to wear on you as a person, as an individual. It's like, we're getting to this thing. We've been in the championship game 3 times, and, and the 4th time was the lucky one, I guess.
Every year coming back here and finally winning it, I think it just shows that our team and everyone coming in trusts Coach Gill, and it showed today, finally won it.
Nino Giarratano comes from a baseball family. The USF head coach shared his love for the game with his dad, which is why the Dons honored his father with a patch on their hats this season.
It parallels everything that Coach represents as a human being. It didn't surprise anybody.
The bond between a father and son can't be understated.
I've never really thought why. I think because of what he's given me, I kind of wanted to show myself that I'm not going to be afraid. I'm just going to do it. Lost my dad October 28th of this year. Wanted to remember him during the season and do something wonderful for the family. When they play the national anthem, I touch the DAD and remember him.
That's it. Hit strikes, number 6. Come on, baby.
Grew up in Pueblo, Colorado, small steel mill town. 3 boys and 1 girl. Growing up during, that time in the 60s, we didn't have a lot of money, but my parents made a great life for us. I could always remember he got home from work at 4 o'clock every day, and that was the magical time. So a lot of times I just put the glove on the steps right around 3:50 and hope that he'd drive up, see the glove on the steps, and we'd play catch in the front yard.
Nino Giarratano's dad, Mickey, always dreamed of being a baseball coach. He couldn't give up a steady government paycheck, but his passion for the game shined through, no matter the level, no matter the time.
The passion for the game of baseball in the Giarratano family is tremendous. I was a 22, 23-year-old young man trying to figure out the game, and he'd come to games and he was so passionate about not just winning, he was passionate about greatness.
He's a ball of fire. I mean, he just is an absolute ball of fire. We went to Hawaii to play a 3-game series, and Mom and Dad came with us, and Mason Morioka was our catcher at the time, and his dad, Craig Morioka, was there. And I said, "Hey, Craig, you're in charge of my dad." And he said, "Oh, I'll take care of your dad." And I kind of gave him the look like, "Okay, Craig." And after game 1, I saw him in the hotel lobby, and he said, I don't think I could take care of your dad. Him yelling at the other fans and him screaming at the umpire and just helping us to try to win. And then, boy, add Nico into the equation, and now his grandson's playing and his son is coaching and he's in the stands, and wow.
In 2010, Mickey was on dialysis and needed a kidney. At age 80, he would be the oldest transplant patient in the history of Denver's Porter Adventist Hospital. His 49-year-old son stepped up to the plate.
He said, well, are you sure you want to do that? And I said, well, yeah, I want to do that. You know, let's see if I match, let's see if it works. I went off on this journey to see if I was a match, but obviously I didn't tell my wife. About a 6-hour surgery and then recovery, and the surgery is a lot tougher on the person that gives than the person that receives, because the person that's receiving, his body's starting to work normally where I'm trying to function. I asked to go see him, so they put me in the wheelchair, and I got sick in the hallway on the way down there, just dizzy and sick, so I had to stop, and then I finally made it into the room, and wow, what a wonderful experience to, you know, just reach out, touch his hand. Was able to give him the kidney. The kidney helped him live for 8 years. Longer than he would have lived, which is wonderful. I kind of wanted to give him that because I thought maybe he'd carry that to heaven for me, and that would be my chance, but that's what I did.
8 more years with his wife of nearly 7 decades. 8 more to see his grandson Nico grow and thrive in the game that Giarratanos loved so much. First as WCC Defensive Player of the Year with the Dons, and then get drafted to the pros. Michael Mickey Giarratano passed away on October 28th, 2018. He was 88.
The great thing is when someone asks me the question, you know, what's the dad symbolize? And I'm like, wow, I really get to talk about it. And so many people want that hat. You know, they want the significance of that hat that says dad on it, and it's really been a remarkable thing. I just wanted to have that to show my mom and make her smile. It just turned out to be a thing where now it's really been kind of wonderful to do and deal with it every single day.
Obviously, it reminds us of Mickey and his passion for the game and his love for his family and this place, but it can't not help you think about your own father and the good times and the challenging times that you go through, and it makes me want to pick up the phone and call my dad.
It just kind of brings you back to that family aspect of like why you got into the game. They kind of brought me that passion for the game, so it's nice to kind of represent them and honor them.
Well, I want to make an impact on people's lives, you know, just kind of like my dad did. So, you know, he's gone, but his spirit will never be gone. His laughter will never be gone. The lessons that he's taught us, they will never be gone. They'll live in Nico, they'll live in me, they'll live in future generations of players. Just really fortunate to be part of this. Wow, what a neat experience to actually sit here and talk about him. You know, emotional, but wow, how neat it is to be able to talk about somebody and know that they're always going to be with you forever.
Well, it's time to take a break. When we come back, Ezra takes us down the coast to see what's making headlines on campus. And the streak lives on. See how the Zags claim the conference rowing title for the 5th straight year. That's coming up next. WCC All-Access is brought to you in part by Nike.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
We're back on WCC All-Access from the campus of Pacific. I'm Ezra Broder. It's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. The WCC announced its male and female Scholar Athletes of the Year. Gonzaga's Josh Perkins and BYU's Ronnie Jones-Perry are this year's award recipients. Perkins led the Zags to a #1 overall ranking in the country, while Jones-Perry led the Cougars to the NCAA Volleyball Final Four. The WCC is among the first Division I conferences to formally integrate student athletes into its official voting governance structure. One student athlete representative, or STAR, from each school will join the Executive Council meetings starting this month. Literally groundbreaking news in Santa Clara. The university broke ground on its new Athletic Excellence Center. The building will give student athletes a place to train, exercise, study, and eat together. And in Malibu, Sylvia Mosqueda is the new cross-country and track and field head coach. She spent last season as an assistant at Pepperdine. She takes over for Robert Radnati, who retired after 14 seasons with the Waves. Gonzaga's created a dynasty on the hardwood, and now it's happening in the water. The Bulldogs rowing team has won the last 5 WCC titles after its latest win. New coach, same result. Gonzaga takes home its 5th straight WCC rowing title at Lake Natoma. The Zags placed 3rd in the fours race, but wins in the final 2 races of the day sealed the win for the Bulldogs and first-year head coach Marissa Wortman.
I definitely wanted to not only continue that tradition, but I wanted to make sure that the athletes trusted me and what we were going to do, and really wanted to build off of that momentum.
As a sophomore, I wanted to do it for my seniors, and we did not want to be the ones to break the chain, and none of us know what it feels like to lose, so we just wanted to keep going and do it for the seniors.
All of us were super anxious coming into this because especially the seniors being our last year, but we were pretty confident with the work we'd put in, but the other teams definitely gave us a run for our money and really pushed us to be where we are today.
This is my first season in the Varsity 8, so I was really excited to see what I could do and what I could help the team do, and we have a lot of seniors graduating, so we wanted to make sure we leave the team on a really good note.
Take a look at the final results. The Zags place 1st, with San Diego and LMU tying for 2nd. Portland takes 4th, St. Mary's finishes in 5th, Creighton and Santa Clara round out the standings. When we come back, what's been trending on social media? Some of the best tweets and posts are coming your way. And a Pacific tennis player gives back to her community. See how she's showing us the true meaning of WCC Represent up next.
Olympic medalist, MVP, world champion, Hall of Famer, brightest stars on the biggest stages, all started here. From the classroom to the court, the West Coast Conference.
Here are some of the best moments on social media. We all know Rui Hachimura is a stud on the court, but how about off the court? Check out the cover of this month's GQ Japan featuring Gonzaga's own Hachimura. Meanwhile, former Zag Domantas Sabonis is already making an impact in the NBA. He's one of 3 finalists for the 6th Man of the Year award given to the best player coming off the bench. And history is made at USD. August Holmgren and Yoel Gamroff are the first Ferreros to make the NCAA men's tennis doubles quarterfinals. Congrats!
We're back on WCC All-Access from Pacific. I'm Sammy O'Brien. The WCC prides itself on shaping its athletes into well-rounded people on and off the playing fields. Right here in Stockton, Hannah Ketcherside is leading the Tigers tennis team by example.
When I was 7 for my birthday, I was kind of deciding what I wanted to, if I wanted gifts or what I wanted to do, and I realized that I didn't really need anything, but I wanted to help other people, so I started collecting socks. My mom was shocked. She was like, "What do you mean you don't want a birthday gift or anything?" The first year I collected 60 pairs of socks and then donated the socks to St. Mary's Dining Room in Stockton. I was like, maybe I should just continue doing this every year. it brings me a lot of joy, and it's really fun to get other people involved in what you like to do. I handwrite letters and I print them out, and then I sign them all, and then I address all the envelopes, stamp them, and mail them out to family and friends and businesses in the Stockton community. Over the past years, I've collected over 60,000 pairs.
When you think about it, just the basic human need of a pair of socks. If I think, do I remember putting on my socks this morning, or what they felt like, and we kind of lose sight of that because it's not something that we are struggling with. But when you think of others who are without, it's huge.
The clients there call them white gold because socks are so valuable and something we take for granted. Part of my decision in coming to Pacific was that I wanted to continue to give back to this community that has given to me too. It's given me a place to live and grow up, and so that was really a big part of my decision, and I think my project does give a lot back to the community and by influencing others as well.
And I even asked her, hey, are you still going to do that now that you're in college? And she looked surprised at me like, well, of course, I'm going to do this. So I think it's just a huge priority for her.
It's a new era in Malibu as Marcio Sicoli finishes his first season on the sand. Pepperdine's beach volleyball coach has big shoes to fill, but he's using his experience with the legends of the game to train the next generation.
Year one, scary. Never been a head coach at university, and working with 9-11 years, big shoes to fill, and I was never going to be able to do that anyways. It's the same but different, but I think the foundation is there, and then that was all about what she built for 30 years.
If anything, he's trying to make sure that what Nina left, it's a legacy that he's continuing. One thing I did appreciate this year was the national anthem was being included in our home matches, and I thought that was pretty cool that he saw the importance of representing not only our program, but this country.
Being into Olympics with the United States, so we're going in that direction, and it always gives the goosebumps for me to start coaching on that environment. Those were like magical, being there on the summit of like high performance. London, my first one, and we got the gold. Like, I couldn't be blessed to be part of it. Coming back home, it was hard. A lot of pressure, and then the whole Brazilians and Americans and all that stuff.
He does a great job because of that experience creating environments in practice that none of us have ever seen.
So I look very much up to Carrie Walsh. So getting to be taught the same, system as an Olympian is pretty awesome.
I be that middleman, bringing that experience for the college, for the WCC, for the student athletes. It's just give me more purpose. What can I bring for those kids, and then maybe, create that dream that maybe one of them will be there one day. P1440 is a great platform that just got created by Carrie Walsh, and the whole idea is to unite all the beach volleyball in one platform. It is exactly that gap that we have between college and the pros. The kids are getting coached for 4 years, and then after that, where they go.
I think it's been really cool. I've seen a lot of the girls who've come through that program just in this last year improve and have a lot of success. So I think that he's got a great vision for what he's doing.
One of my plans is maybe leave some courts on campus. Like courts facing the ocean and with Nina's name.
One more block to go. Coming up, we look back at the best plays of the year and talk about home field advantage. We go all access behind LMU's Blue Monster. That's coming up next.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
Here's what to watch for over the next few weeks. The Women's World Cup kicks off on June 7th and lasts about a month. The U.S. national team, led by Santa Clara alum Julie Ertz and Portland alum Megan Rapinoe, is the defending champion and favorite to repeat. And Thursday, June 20th is a big day for WCC Hoops. Several players from Gonzaga figure to hear their names called at the NBA draft. 3 Zags have been drafted in the last 3 years. We're back on the campus of Pacific for the season finale of WCC All-Access. I'm Ezra Broder. When you think of Fenway Park, you think of the Green Monster. LMU is trying to replicate that here on the West Coast with their own version. Let's check out the Blue Monster.
You see it and you're just like, wow.
Visually coming in, that's the first thing you see. It's pretty cool.
It's a trademark of this field, and I love it.
I'm Sammy O'Brien here at Page Stadium, home to the LMU Lions, standing in front of the Mikos Blue Monster. Now, this wall was built in the 2001 season. It stands 37 feet tall, the exact same height as the Green Monster at historic Fenway Park. Now, this Blue Monster is not as wide as the one at Fenway Park, but it is one of the only remaining hand-operated scoreboards in all of college baseball. So let's take a deeper look.
It really adds character to our field, and in college baseball, I don't think you get a lot of that.
I had no clue what to expect when I was getting recruited. Googled the field, and I saw online that it was big, but then when you get in person, and then when you get up closer, the thing just skyscrapes over you, and you feel like a little shrimp.
Back here behind the Blue Monster in game alongside me, LMU sophomore Justin. What would you say is the hardest part about this job?
I wouldn't say it's that hard, but sometimes the numbers are pretty dirty, so I guess, that could be difficult.
Take me through the process of what happens, because you obviously can't see the game.
Okay, so I have this walkie here, and then so I'll get a call, and then they'll say, "Oh, change this to this."
Please put a 0 at the top of the second.
Copy.
That'll do it from Pacific. Thank you for watching WCC Access all season long. We're taking a break this summer, but we'll leave you with the best plays from this past year in the West Coast Conference. See you next time.
It's Katie Campbell with 5 and 4 to Zykira Rice. Rice in the lane, off the glass, good!
He's finding himself once again. Look out! Oh my goodness! The rim! Are you kidding me, Roxy?
Brandon Clark!
Jimenez trying to find a little room and finds the back of the net as well. 1-0 Tigers. What an effort by Jimenez.
Give to Yo. Yo drives to the rim.
Oh, man alive!
Cocks the hammer and throws it down with the right hand. Leaning back. The mercy and the finish. Wow.
Full count, 2-out pitch. What are you rolling with here? That one, a sharp shot to third. LaForestier's got it. The throw to first is high, but he's on the bag, and that completes a no-hitter for Ryan Shreve.
The Lions are never a team that gives up easily, at all. Sierra Marshall now with her first hit of the ball game. Will it be in time? A monstrous catch from right field, and that'll do it. Boy, I don't know if you can end the game on a more exciting outfield play.
And that'll do it. The Lions win the championship.
U is kind of bucking that trend. Their guys have been out there the whole game. 1-0, line to right, and he trapped it in right field.
You got to force that at home now. Wow.
And there's the out. And now there's 2 runners at first base. They might get a triple play.
That's a triple play.
And it is a triple play.
Unbelievable.
And he will be crowned WCC champion
Oh, Nick Hauger putting it down on the BYU Cougars, doing a great job. What a phenomenal last stretch. Erica Burke-Jarvis, your 2018 WCC Cross Country Individual Champion.
Olympic medalist, MVP, world champion, Hall of Famer, brightest stars on the biggest stages, all started here. From the classroom to the court, the West Coast Conference.